What's up, dude? Are those perfect game shorts?
Eric Emanuel.
Oh.
Ooh, big baller.
What are those?
They're like a fancy, I think they're like a high-end brand.
Sweet.
They were big a while ago. I tried to get a pair, and then you see that it's $130 as a reseller.
You got some fucking baller-ass shorts on? What do you do for a living?
I make apps, is the short answer.
Okay.
So, like, mozzarella sticks and...
Okay. Hello, folks. That's a point. If you bet the over on Kyle scoring.
I'm more of a bang shrimp guy.
Yeah.
Hey, shrimp guy, yeah. Endless apps.
Exactly.
You strike me as a bang
You do
bang
make endless
shrimper.
apps, which is kind of sick.
Yeah.
No, I'm an annoying tech guy.
Yeah, dude, you guys are taking over the world, and I'm not happy about
Yeah,
it.
stop taking over our world, will you?
We like to pretend that we are.
No, you guys are
literally
legitimately
are, dude.
yeah. You're all just hiding out in fucking Hawaii volcanoes with bunkers and shit.
Seeing 9 tech guys in the front row at the inauguration, I was like, I think they're winning.
Yeah, you're trying to get to Mars like tomorrow so that you can just leave this fucking dust bowl.
Yeah, but then, your toilet leaks or your bathroom.
You're rich enough to
needs
call
redone.
somebody.
And then even then, what are you going to do?
Yeah, but you make the
Reprogram.
app that
Yeah,
we call the guy on. We put in the issue that we're having with the toilet.
Yeah,
very
you
possible.
probably invented TaskRabbit.
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah,
Not
so
quite.
or you're gonna just reprogram the freaking toilet, and it's just gonna make it. It's just gonna literally make it
Just everything's
flush
a bidet.
better.
Yeah, true.
Exactly,
Yeah, you're probably. I mean, damn, the plumbers are probably AI probably gonna come for the plumbers too.
Nah, they can't.
You don't think so? What can AI not come for?
Anything that's real, basically. Anything in the real
My Dunkin'
world.
Donut, my poor Dunkin'. We went to Dunkin' Donuts before this.
Yeah. They screwed your order. AI screwed your
They
order.
screwed up my order. We ordered on the little kiosk thing they have.
That's an example of what I call bad AI.
Okay.
But
But technically it wasn't AI's fault. It was the worker who had to read, who might not have to be able to read because all they do is chat GPT.
They need AI for reading.
Let me clarify what I mean by bad AI.
Yeah.
I don't mean that it was bad for you or the experience didn't work. What I mean is that the point of that system is not to help you. The point of that system is to make Dunkin' Donuts more money.
That's what I don't like about it.
Yeah. So, like, my real job, I'm a venture capitalist.
Oh, sweet.
I invest in companies. I run a digital agency.
Tech companies or?
Yeah, exactly. Mostly tech. We've done some consumer stuff, some brands like Blue Bottle Coffee was a company we invested in a while ago. Nestle bought them. But
Congratulations.
Yeah.
More Eric Emanuel shorts.
yeah, exactly. No, bad AI is when a company sees this new technology and says, okay, how can I use this to just screw my customer more?
Yeah.
How can I use this to improve a process on my side of the equation as opposed to the customer side? And it's really funny when you see big companies, especially like Amazon, Google, whatever, deploy AI on different sides of the business. You realize, oh, like Amazon could add AI to the search feature that helps me find stuff, right? And that would be a better experience for me, but it would make them less money. Instead, what they're doing is they're adding the AI on like the customer service side to kind of automate or even slow down when, the process they go through when something goes wrong, right? So from an investment standpoint, I'm not interested in those bad AI things. That's not interesting to me. I want to see good AI that is actually going to help do things in the world better for everybody and not just squeeze a couple extra pennies out of a fast food.
Is that all it really kind of is? It's just it's like a rounding error of like money. Are they making like big bucks on this?
I mean, that remains to be seen because the fundamental technology actually still doesn't make money. Right?
Yeah.
Like, you've got Microsoft building these big data centers that OpenAI runs on. All of that's being funded by basically free money from the government.
Yeah.
The Inflation Reduction Act, not to get political here, but just talking about where the money comes from. Great law, actually. Stupid name. Stupid name.
Yeah.
Because
I've seen eggs.
Yeah. But, there were tens of billions of dollars in that law to give companies like Microsoft basically guaranteed loans to go and build new data centers to power AI and stuff, right? And so without that, they would be losing even more money on operating all of these systems. So it remains to be seen if you're putting all of this energy into a server to take your order at Dunkin' is actually saving more money on the labor side than it is on the energy side.
We are at a race, and race car or NASCAR is known for just putting ads head to toe on guys' jumpsuits, head to toe on cars and stuff. Yeah. My Dunkin' kiosk brought to you by, I don't know, Folgers mixed with
Palantir.
Exactly. Like that's probably how hey, how do we turn a profit with AI? it's like we just advertise the fuck out of like our kiosks.
That's what it seems like it is. That's always like the go-to move.
Yeah.
Indeed.
I wonder, I mean, I imagine you work with these guys to some extent, like on the back end when you're describing this bad AI, and they're really just focused on how can we make the business a little bit more money, even at the expense of the customer experience.
Yeah.
The guys who are doing that, when you meet them, like you have this caricature of them in your head where there's these scumbags who they don't care, and that might be unfair. You know, they're doing their job and they have to provide for their families. Do you see these guys and are they fucking scumbags?
They
That's
have
really what
to
I'm
be
asking.
the worst hang of all time.
Yeah.
I mean, if I go back through all the pitches I've ever heard, the worst ones actually weren't AI involved. They were more, you know, we're going to sell vitamin C tablets at a 10,000% markup to bored housewives because we've got a cute character that they like to put on the bottle.
They watch The View, and we can,
we
can get them. Good Morning America. We get them into The View. And
the moms wake up with a little bit of bloat that morning. They're like, God, I wish I had
Right.
something to flush me out, and then you put it up.
The most, I don't see a lot of evil in the AI pitches I see. I see just a lot of naive people who don't really understand what they're actually pitching. Because let's say in like the last year, I've heard 6 or 7 people come to say, "Oh, I'm building an AI tool and it's going to help your doctor, you know, give you better treatment." And you know, everyone's had the experience. You go to the doctor and they don't really look at you; they're like typing on a computer the whole time. Right? So, lots of people trying to make a tool that's going to do all that for the doctor automatically, and now the doctor's going to be able to spend more time with you. What that will probably end up meaning is if like that's actually successful, well, the doctor will go from being expected to see, you know, 3 patients an hour to 4 or 5.
Right.
All comes down to those incentives. The other part that most people don't realize is those types of developments, those types of, you know, improvements are zero sum, right? Because let's say that doctor does some, you know, uses this tool, he has a better patient experience, he can now write that letter to your insurance company all the faster,
Right.
Well, the insurance company is building an AI on the other side to reject those letters better and more efficiently. Right?
Oh my God.
That's why we're losing CEOs.
It's dueling wizards. We were talking about Harry Potter earlier. There's 2.
Right. Yeah.
Avada
Your copay's rejected.
Hey,
Here's a second insurance.
Luigi Mangione, Avada Kedavra, right? We did. He did.
Yeah. So like, I'm always skeptical when an AI person or really anyone's coming to me and saying like, "Oh, this tool's going to be great because it's going to increase efficiency for X, Y, Z." Well, your increased efficiency is, you know, the person you're buying from's decreased efficiency.
Right.
You know, like you cannot get more efficient at buying something without the person selling it to you becoming less efficient. So like those types of pitches where are just kind of like picking up pennies inside someone's IT budget, not very interesting to me.
Sure.
The other thing I keep telling people about AI is I don't think this is going to be as disruptive as you think because
I disagree wholeheartedly.
Well, let me put it this way. Who cares what AI is going to do for your doctor? Do you know what email could do for your doctor? Your doctor's not allowed to use email. You know what I mean?
Is that right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. My doctor the other day, he sent me like a...
HIPAA, exactly.
Over a secured internet IP address.
There's
It's annoying.
Yeah. There's a really...
Snapchat me, dude.
There's a very big and powerful law called HIPAA. It was signed in the 90s, HIPPA. And to understand what it does, you can actually just invert the meanings of all the letters. The official name of the law is the Health Information Portability and Privacy Act.
Okay.
Right? Well, the effect of HIPAA is that your health information is everywhere, so it's not private. Anyone who ever sees you keeps a copy of it forever, and it makes it basically impossible to access your data or move it around. So it doesn't keep your data private, and it doesn't make your data portable. And HIPAA, among other things, basically makes it unlawful for your doctor to send an email, right? Yeah. So think about the process of you go to the doctor and the doctor says, "Oh, you need to go to a shoulder specialist or you need to go to a knee surgeon or whatever." Well, what's actually going to happen is your doctor's going to type into a computer, he needs to go to the knee doctor, and then that system will like print out a piece of paper, which then gets faxed to the other doctor, right? And then a human being takes that fax, puts it on a table, types it into their computer, right? And so that adds, I don't know, 5-10 days.
They roll it up, they give it to a trusted falcon, he flies across,
right, exactly.
lands on the other doctor's forearm.
So, you know, when I hear people like Sam Altman, you know, talking about, "Oh, we're going to cure cancer, we're going to do all these amazing things," I'm like, bro, how about you let my doctor send an email